I'm sure you would have seen a lot of people complain about the Overton window shifting. And as always, our Muslim friends are at the top of that list. They are complaining day in, day out about normalizing Islamophobia, but missing a key detail there. Why is it that is Islamophobia on the rise? How come we don't hear Hindu phobia, Christianophobia, Buddhistophobia? How come we don't see those phobias? Why is it? What is so special about Islam? But I have seen hundreds of tweets, posts, videos, which means if I've seen hundreds, then there must be thousands of those people who carry that notion. And as I said, as always, they're mostly Muslims. Yes, Indians complain about the rise of hatred towards Indians, but it's not against Hindus. It's against Indians for other reasons, for H-1B visa in America and, Western countries, not just Western countries, pretty much every single country. It feels like there are a lot of Indians coming in, which is a natural reaction. Whenever you see a lot of people come in, people respond to it. But it's a different kind of a reaction to that. But when it comes to Islam, it's totally different. So I wonder why that is. And the king of all, Mehdi Hassan, is the biggest proponent of that. So let me show you a couple of his tweets. Look at this one. He goes, oh, look, the latest kid from Jubilee debate clips online is also a racist. So he's still living in the 2010s. He still believes that you can shut down any criticism by calling people racist or bigots. Look, it kind of worked in the 2010s. You know what? People used to get canceled left, right, and center. And Mehdi Hassan actually owes his career to that movement. Because, look, I'm not going to just crap on him because I don't agree with his worldview, or he's on the other side of the narrative, or he's on the other side of the war. He's very smart. He's very eloquent. But I'm sorry to say, doesn't matter how smart you are. Doesn't matter how many books you've written on how to win every single argument. If your premise is dodgy, then your conclusion is going to be dodgy, which means you can never win this. So this idea of calling people racist and bigots and Islamophobes, it doesn't work anymore. So look at this. So he quotes him, Arabs sometimes forget that this isn't the 7th century. Look at this. So he's picked out this quote from this guy who's, by the way, African-American, and he's been challenging Mehdi Hassan to debate him. He's quoting this. If you look at it on its own, and if you teleport yourself back to the 2010s, you'd be like, ooh, this is a bit extreme. Arabs sometimes forget that this isn't the 7th century. But you know what? It's actually not that outrageous anymore. Why? Because we've got FGMs, honor killings, stabbings are almost on a daily basis. We have no-go zones. We see women dressed in bin bags. We see Muslim-dominated areas where Western women cannot just go. They just can't go, which means that there are enclaves within our Western countries that look more 7th century Arabia than 21st century London. So that's why it doesn't seem that outrageous. So look at him. So he goes, totally normal thing to say. Would he say this about Jews or Hindus? So he started adding Hindus. So, Muslims are always obsessed with Jews, but he's adding even Hindus too, which is a big concession because it means... You know what it means? It means that he understands that public frustration in the West is directed far more towards Islam than towards Hindus or Jews or Buddhists or the Chinese or the Japanese people. Why is that? I wonder why that is. So he goes, I wonder if he would say that about Jews or Hindus. Yeah, I wonder why wouldn't he say that about Jews or Hindus? Maybe because Jews and Hindus are not causing the kind of mayhem that Mehdi Hassan's people have. But instead of looking in the mirror, instead of asking themselves, why is it? Why is it? All of these people are reacting to it. Look at him. He's created so many other tweets where he's even accusing the Democrats of helping to move the Overton window to the far right on immigration and consequently Islamophobia, etc. So he's always talking about that. Yeah, he's a perpetual victim. But I wanted to show you how much the Overton window has shifted to the other side as well, because whatever I'm about to show you now, guys, none of this is normal. I was watching a really nice movie of Sacha Baron Cohen called Ladies First. I know it might sound very woke, but it actually was very smart. But anyways, there's not a movie review. And they showed a scene, it's based in London. They showed a scene where he goes to see this executive woman whom he had fired earlier. She has a 14, 15-year-old girl. She lives somewhere in London. And then she just goes out on her skateboard. She's like, okay, mom, you go to office. I'll just go and play in the streets. I was like, that's how we had imagined London, okay? But London doesn't look anything like that. The Overton window has shifted so much so that we can't even recognize our cities anymore. The same thing has happened in Australia. I can assure you, I've been here for 20 plus years. I can tell you, our suburbs look visibly different, and we are being told to shut up and accept it. That's how much the Overton window has shifted. That people are being replaced, their cultures are being erased, and they are being told that is perfectly okay. Just accept it. If you say anything, then you're a racist and a bigot. But guess what? Something is more powerful than the fear of labels. Your will to survive, your desire to protect your way of life, which is why all these people who are native to these cultures, not to the land necessarily, because, these people say, oh, these white Anglo-Australians are not native to Australia. No, they are native to the nation state of Australia. The nation state of Australia was created by white Australians, okay? Nothing wrong with that. And this is why I say it should remain 70%. So let me, without further ado, let me show you how much the Overton window has shifted. Look at this Muslim woman. Imagine you said that in Saudi Arabia or in Pakistan. You know what happened? You'd be hanging from a crane. But it is being regurgitated. At least this woman shows some consideration. She's not as brutal as some of the other people that I'm about to show you.
The fact of the matter is, the UK is never going to be white again. It's just not going to happen.
Just not going to happen, guys. Give up. Give up your heritage, because, we live in a world where it's perfectly okay to say, I am proud to be black, I am proud to be brown, I am proud to be Muslim. But if you say I'm proud to be white, then, ooh. This is why you don't see white people say that. Well, actually, some people who do say it now as a reaction to this, who never would have said it 10, 15 years ago because there was no need to say it. But they are labeled as extreme far-right white supremacists, ethno-nats. And look, don't get me wrong, there are some ethno-nats. I see the growth of the ethno-nationalist movement as a consequence of what has been sold to us as the new norm. Again, imagine this. This is how much the Overton window has shifted. This woman is telling you that white British people are not going to be the owners of their own native homeland. It's not going to happen. Give it up already. Well, I have news for you, lady. Don't test them. These white people, these white people have been ruling the world for the last 300 to 400 years. They are capable of immense barbarity, technological advancement, and they have shown great capabilities in every arena. So I wouldn't really be betting against them. Yes, they became too civilized for their own good, let me say. But I don't think it's wise to poke the bear.
You can wish it, but it's not realistic. Similarly, our parents who have left Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia,
they've all formed a united identity. Our parents, people who have moved out of Afghanistan and Pakistan and Somalia, people who on their own may hate each other, share nothing in common other than the fact that they're immigrants or probably Muslim. She actually didn't mention Indians because, because she's a Muslim woman. Muslims will still hate Hindus at the end of the day. They hate the Hindus. So you see that? They create these fault lines and then they exploit them. And then they tell you, just suck it up. It's the new norm.
Muslim countries, for them to think that they can reestablish those countries and the lives that they had there over here, it's not going to happen. And
watch them, darling. Watch them. Keep provoking them. I actually enjoy this. I used to think, why are they doing this so abruptly? Why are they not doing it more sneakily? 'Cause we've got so many videos of these. So this is not even a radical looking Muslim, okay? She hasn't got a hijab or a niqab. She's not acting like crazy Muhammad hijab or those Muslim Brotherhood people that we've seen so many of who openly say, you know what, we're going to take over Sharia for the UK, Australian, blah. She's not acting like those people. So I often wonder, why do those people show their cards before the showtime? Why are they doing this? But I guess they have to do it because they have to prepare their audience. They have to prepare their people for war as well, because they understand that there is a conflict coming and you need to rally your own troops. So you need to rally your own troops as well. So that's what they're doing. But this woman, okay, look, I want to be fair. She is a bit more considerate. I think she's trying to find a middle ground. But sorry, there is no middle ground when you tell people, hey, you know what? We're going to replace you. Forget about it. You are being replaced. And we have people like Keir Starmer and Anthony Albanese who says that's just the new norm.
Recognize the fact that that's a big loss for both people.
Why both people? Why both people? Oh, because you colonized us.
For both people, it's going to happen. And I recognize the fact that that's a big loss for both people, for both sides. But the reality is that we have to move forward. The reality is that we're together going to have to find out, what does it mean to be British moving forward? What does it mean to build a society that includes all of us, where it means looking like me and looking like you?
Isn't that amazing? They always reduce it to looking like me. It's actually not about looking like you. She looks, I look much, I'm closer to her than than I am to a native Brit. Okay, I'm brown, she's brown, but we are worlds apart in our behavior. And I can tell you, all these patriots, whether they are British patriots or American patriots or Australian patriots, they would be much comfortable with me than they will be with them. Because why? Because she has carved out a new identity. She still can't let go of her Muslim background. She's come from Afghanistan or Pakistan or Somalia. Like, wow, what does it matter? If these people had focused on, we are British from now on, I'm going to be proud. I'm going to learn more about the Battle of Hastings. I'm going to be more proud of British heritage. I'm going to represent British history as my own. I'm going to understand that. I'm going to be proud of Churchill. I'm going to be proud of the sacrifices of British people during World War II, during the Blitz. What happened? How people survived Hitler's bombing of London. But no, she probably doesn't know anything about that. And again, it's not only her fault; it's the fault of the ruling elite of Britain as well. Because what were you teaching in your schools? All I look at in British schools now, they are learning how to pray. They're learning about Islam. But what the hell? Whoa. Okay, so she was a bit more considerate. Yeah, she was saying we have to find a middle ground. Look at this next one.
What is on the table is ethnic cleansing. When you are talking about the permanent resettlement of an entire ethnic group from the place they call home, that's called ethnic cleansing. And
the white British population has decreased by 600,000, while the minority population has increased by 1.2 million. So yes, lads, we're winning.
Yes, lads, we're winning. So our numbers are growing. Ethnic cleansing. She's gloating over it. This is a bad move, Ash Sarkar. Her name is Ash Sarkar. I think she works for the BBC. I don't know if she still works for the BBC or not. This is a very stupid move. You are literally dancing in front of a hungry lion and waving a big juicy steak and saying, ha ha, I've got a steak, you're hungry. That ain't a good move. I'm telling you, that ain't a good move. I'm just waiting for that lion to, right? The British lion. It's going to rise up, guys. It's going to rise up. So anyway, my point was, that's how much the Overton window has shifted. We have people, we have these lefties, we have these wokey lunatics from other backgrounds. Obviously, we have native white woke lunatics as well. They will switch side towards the end because I'm seeing a lot of more and more previous wokes moving to the conservative side. We just had a massive addition to our Patriot movement. Dave Husey, who is a household name in Australia. He's a comedian. He was very woke, especially during COVID as well. He's just come out blasting Anthony Albanese, and he's now saying, oh, these are the effects of socialism. Oh, no way, Husey. Now you realize, huh? Husey and Kate in the morning. I used to listen to his radio show. So white wokes will keep moving to the conservative side, and these brown lefties, Muslims and all these other people who also portray themselves as lefties, kind of like Mehdi Hassan, they will stay where they are, and their movement will be defeated just in the nick of time. You know, we won't get to 50-50, but their numbers will keep increasing. Look at this. This is what you're being told is perfectly normal. Just accept it, okay? You're supposed to accept this. Look at this. Not a single British person. Oh, actually, there was one. How's that Britain, guys? How is that Britain? That is not Britain. You're being replaced. You're being replaced. That's what Ash Sarkar was happy about. By the way, Ash Sarkar is a Hindu. What she doesn't understand, what will happen to her when the Islamists take hold of Britain. She doesn't understand that. So Indians are also suffering from these woke lefty lunatics. Look at this. You know, nearly 1 million non-British people collect universal credit in the UK. So this is UK's welfare system, kind of like our Centrelink. These people, look at this. Look at the lines outside. These welfare dependency welfare centers. I don't know exactly where that is, but you get the point. 1 million is a verified number. Look at this. This is a Birmingham's mayor's oath ceremony or something. Look at this. Not a single woman. All Pakistani. Not a single British person. Lord Mayor of Birmingham. He's thrown a party, and look at them. They don't even bother to wear Western clothes. Half of them can't even speak English. Birmingham is England's second largest city. Britain's, the UK's second largest city. Look at that. You're being told that this is normal. Okay? Let me remind you again, none of this is normal. It is not normal. All the while, they are bringing in these people. So you have already seen how bad the situation is. But on top of that, they're bringing in more and more people. We have seen a sharp increase in sexual violence against British women, a whole decade of the grooming gang scandal, decades of the grooming gang scandals. And we have now seen an increase in riots, lootings, and someone did a research. They were saying that something really strange is happening. Britain's high streets are slowly dying. This is not a sudden thing that happens overnight. Like 9/11 was a sudden event. That's why we had a sudden reaction. Muslims adapted. They came up with a slightly better solution. Do it subtly over a decade or two so people don't understand. We're kind of like the frog in the pan kind of story, like you slowly turn up the heat and the frog tries to adjust its body temperature. And then there comes a point when it's like, oh, it's getting a bit hot in here. I can't even jump out. That's what's happening. So on top of all of that, the people Britain brought in, look at this. Now the illegal migrants have come in. He's holding a knife and he's just smashing wine bottles. Look how grateful he is. Look how desperately he wants to be a part of British society. Remember the Muslim woman? She was saying, we have to find a middle ground. We have to find out how we're going to live together. You're being told that you have to live together with these barbarians. That's how much the Overton window has shifted. Okay, so that was just a new arrival. Yeah, look at this guy. He is a British Pakistani destroying a heritage wall. I actually used to think that this is Hadrian's Wall, but I think that's how Brits just construct those walls. Apparently, they're very old. In Australia, we have those flimsy fences, with barbed wires. So I remember when I was going through Midland, England, Yorkshire Dales and that part, I saw these walls everywhere. And for some reason, I just thought, oh, that's the infamous Hadrian Wall. But no, it's not the Hadrian's Wall. It's just a normal wall. But look at him. He's just destroying it for no reason. It doesn't even affect his religion. It's not even an attack on his religion. It's nothing. Like when they say, oh, you make fun of Islam, you make fun of our prophet, you burn our Quran. That's why we are acting out the way we're acting. What is he doing? Nothing. I show you the previous Afghan guy was just randomly destroying alcohol bottles. The other day, I played you a video of a Muslim imam who's proselytizing on the streets of England, which shouldn't even be allowed. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We shouldn't allow a barbaric ideology to be openly preached, okay? He told a young British girl, young British girls who were wearing short shorts, perfectly normal within their culture, and he was saying to them, "Oh, you deserve to get art."
What are you smashing the wall down for? What are you smashing the wall up for? Why are you smashing the wall down? It's not your fucking wall. It's not your fucking wall. I've just watched you chucking bricks trying to smash the fucking wall down. I don't care, it's not your wall. There's a path up there off the main road. There's a path on over there. This is not your property, dude. You can't just go around smashing shit up because you want to go through it.
You can't go over it.
Shout at you. I don't care, dude. It's not your wall. I've just watched you and videoed you smashing the wall up. It's not your wall. Then leave it the fuck alone then. Then leave the wall alone. It's a dry stone wall. It's been up for hundreds of years. Dry stone.
Hundreds of years, guys. Look at this. He's got a British Pakistani accent, so he's probably born and raised there. He's not that third world migrant. But that you can take a family out of the third world, but you can't take the third world out of them. Unless you're Harris Sultan, of course.
Wall, hundreds of years.
And you have to have a really high IQ like me.
Cost thousands of pounds per metre to put it right. And you think you can come around here and...
Why are you talking? Again, Brits are too civilized. You guys got too civilized for your own good.
Smash a fucking hole in it because you want to get through. Walk down there. There's a fucking gap in the wall down there. Walk through that.
I don't think I would have. I'm not saying that I'm Mike Tyson, but I don't know. I think I would have struggled to keep it contained to words.
That one. Walk down that wall and you'll find one that's already fucking opened up down there. There's no need for you to be smashing the fucking property up.
What are you recording me for, though?
To put you on Facebook.
Why are you putting me on Facebook?
And YouTube. So next time when a perpetual Muslim victim tells you, oh, you've normalized Islamophobia, the Overton window has shifted, you would say that about Jews or the Hindus. Ask them why. Why is it? Why? I mean, Hindus are brown. If your reason is racism, then Hindus are brown. Yes, as I said, there are some people in America and in Australia too. There's a rise of anti-India element. But that's completely different. It's like, okay, why am I listening to loud Bollywood music everywhere? You know, why am I seeing these people dancing in the streets like the Bollywood? And obviously some hygiene issues too. So it's a completely different kind of criticism, which is perfectly valid. So horses for courses, you know, you have a problem with a certain culture about certain things, but no one is complaining about, oh, Buddhists are just randomly blowing up. They're stabbing women or they're just creating this grooming gang. No. Why is it that the West, and it's happening in Japan as well now, which is why I think Japanese people should also join our Western Patriot Telegram group. The link is in the description box, because there is a global patriotic nationalist movement growing everywhere in the world. It's not just in the West. Looks like it's growing in Japan as well. These videos are coming out of Japan almost on a daily basis by Japanese activists who are also having the same problem with the usual suspects, Mehdi Hassan's people. Why? I think you know the answer why.